Man like Mark Sullivan, worry yourself. Stay tuned for the thrilling episode. Woo!
A positive mental attitude can clear away all obstacles which stand between you and your major purpose in life.
This is the Snowboard Project featuring Mark Sullivan and the Beat. The Snowboard Project. The Snowboard Project. The Snowboard Project.
Welcome back to the Snowboard Project. I'm Mark Sullivan.
And I am the Beav, and it is September 17th.
Yep. 2018.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
And we are here with Real Talk, episode 2 of Real Talk.
Yeah, second episode of Real Talk coming to you from the Snowboard Project studios.
At the Hot Water Inn.
I knew you were going to drop that on top of me.
It.
Yeah, okay, so what are we going to start with today?
Gosh, it's a combination of things. Number 12, Heartbreaker.
Okay, Heartbreaker.
Number 14, Big Mistakes.
Wait a minute. We can do both at once?
Yeah, we're doing that.
Okay.
And number 16, Awkward Moments.
Wait, we can do all three birds with one stone?
Yep.
How are we going to do that?
We'll call this a menage a
trois?
Sure.
Okay,
menage. Trois, I believe, is 3 in French.
Okay, anyhow, how do we do this? Tell me how we pull this off.
I don't know, Sullivan. Throw us into our first.
Oh, so you're putting it on me?
I'm putting it on you. Yeah.
Okay. So let's see. Let me see here. Okay, so here's something I heard just recently, and this is kind of crazy. Okay. So yeah. So okay, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
So have you ever been to like a website that features video porn?
No.
Okay. Well, that doesn't make this very easy.
Yeah, I'm a.
Okay.
I'm
so
a dude.
okay. Well, then entertain me here. Work with me.
No. It's yes, I have.
Okay.
Of course.
Work with me here. So, what's your favorite category? They have categories, So what's the category your go-to?
This is so hard. There's so many of them. Gold medalists.
Well, this is your lucky week, Beav. Because,
why is that? Why?
Because we have a gold medalist sex tape that is now, I don't know what channel it's on. I actually saw this video. It's on actually, I think, a number of these video outlets. I didn't actually check each one. But there is a gold medalist who has a sex tape. Who do you think it is? Take one guess.
Okay, crossing my fingers on this one. Shaun White.
No, you're
really?
wrong, actually.
No?
But you would be right to expect that, but actually you're wrong. Okay. So,
dang.
Yeah, it's actually Hannah Teeter, which is kind of sad to me, actually, because I love Hannah Teeter. I love her brothers. I love the whole Teeter family, right? And so when I heard that, and like, what is it? We're doing 12. What are the categories we're covering here? 12, 14, 16?
Big mistakes, and awkward moments.
Yeah, and so it's like all of those things wrapped up into one for Hannah Teeter. Did you actually watch the sex tape, said sex tape?
I did not. You sent me a picture. No, let's not. Please don't play it.
Wait a minute.
No.
Okay, no. Well, here's the thing is like, I actually phoned a friend here because it's like I didn't want to put you on the spot to review it. So let me just I called a guy that I know who.
Okay. So you called somebody. Mark Sullivan's having a hard time.
I got to pull up this tape.
He's got to pull up the recording. He's having a hard time with that. So anyway, Sullivan phoned a friend that's going to give us some insight on this said sex tape. Who's the friend?
Well, it's funny you should ask because I'm actually friends with David Letterman.
What?
Of the David yeah, that's right. Real Talk.
How did you become friends with David Letterman? Is
not Real Talk, actually.
East Coast thing or?
He just likes people who are cool. And I guess I'm cool enough. So let's check this out. So here's my phone call from Dave. He's watching the sex tape. So what, Dave? Okay, let's get Dave here. Okay, Dave, what did you think of the sex tape?
Wow, look at that. That's a pretty good-looking thing. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, wearing it around.
Wow.
Were you
Dave.
disappointed when you realized it had a hole in it?
Whoa, we got to stop right there. Wow. We got to stop right there.
Wow, that recording got graphic really quick.
I didn't really expect it to go that way that quick. So anyhow.
Wow. Well, I feel like you just have to go like, what a terrible turn of events, really, for someone like Hannah and someone who's a snowboarder and someone that we respect. And it's one of those tricky situations. But there were some red flags leading into this.
Oh,
let's just go ahead and talk about that.
Like her boyfriend, right?
Yeah.
The boyfriend's definite red flag.
Yeah, let's just go with this. The guy's name, get this, is Johnny Bananas.
Johnny Bananas.
Yeah, and apparently...
So he must have some kind of banana, huh?
You would think. So check us out. Johnny got his nickname not from his member being... Anyways, he got it from working at Banana Republic.
Whoa.
So I think that is a red flag in and of itself, going like...
Yeah, that's more than a red flag. That's just whack.
Okay, that's number one. Here's red flag number two. He got his start in reality TV on The Real World Key West. Sorry.
I mean, what's not to respect about The Real World happening in Key West?
So many things.
Okay, anyhow, keep going.
Okay,
Let's finish this up because I don't want to talk about this too much longer.
Anyways, if you go on his website, if you go on the website, his background wallpaper is like a skull and cross bananas, and then the skull is wearing aviator glasses and like a paisley paisley headband.
And Hannah Teeter dated this guy?
Yeah, right? Like the guy probably drives his Yamaha Golf Wing to some shitty bar in Miami wearing like Ed Hardy sequin crested jeans.
Right.
I mean, like, this is the image of the guy. Like, of course he's going to release your sex tape. Let's just be real.
Yeah, because so you should have seen it coming, basically.
Yeah, because when his career as a reality TV star starts, dwindling.
As I always do.
What do the agents say? They go,
sex tape.
Sex tape.
Right. Okay, let's move on.
Okay, let's move on.
You guys can look at it up for yourselves.
Please,
you'll see it.
Yeah, don't. It's really not that great.
It's not really that great, actually. But anyhow, let's move on. So here's like the big news probably of the week. There were no contests. People are still in New Zealand.
Yep.
They're still in South America. I saw a couple photos, people riding sleds. Skylar Holgate's down in Chile riding sleds. And then like New Zealand, they're still riding powder. So pretty cool snowboard season. South of the equator still going on. But really the thing that probably tops off the news of this week is Nidecker. Cedric and Xavier and Henry Nidecker bought a couple of brands, and really it's like so Nidecker is a brand, one of the original European brands, and I'm not sure exactly what year they started, sometime in the 80s. So they started making snowboards on Lake Geneva.
Yep.
And then they kind of started Yes and Jones snowboards, and granted they did it with those pro athletes, right? But really I believe that those guys actually own those brands, and the pro athletes like Jeremy Jones, let's say, he gets a royalty check based on using his name.
That's interesting. I never knew that Nidecker actually was kind of the behind of Jones.
You wouldn't know that. I mean, they don't really publicize that, but here, real talk.
What ended up
okay, so
happening
the brothers, Cedric, Xavier, and Henry, they bought Rome SDS, Battalion, Lobster, Switchback. I mean, they really just cleaned house on core brands in the industry, basically, right? I mean, Rome is a pretty core brand.
Right, yeah.
Lobster's core, if you look at the Helgesons, and then Battalion, they're a pretty unique, differentiated brand. So
all very core brands. Do you feel like this is something that's good for the industry? Do you feel like this is something that is signaling something like all the brands are coalescing into some bigger...
I think that the consolidation, I would say it's actually a really good thing, because if you look at like Nidecker and Yes and Jones, they both have you wouldn't know that they were part of one family already. So I believe that having Lobster and Battalion and Rome, those brands will continue down the road that they've already started down, and so they'll be able to maintain their autonomy as brands and not just become one conglomeration of brand or whatever.
Gotcha.
And so maybe it creates some advantages as far as manufacturing, as far as credit terms for the shops, as far as, there are some advantages of all being under one roof. And I think that Nidecker will take advantage of that.
Interesting.
Yeah. So anyhow, let's see if there's anything let's see if there's anything here that I can, let's see. Okay, so, let's see if I can find a quote here in this press release. Yeah, so here's like Henry Nidecker, and he's like, "We have been impressed by the success of Low Pressure Studio and jumped at the opportunity to support a rider-driven brand that reflected our collective passion for snowboarding. This collaboration will allow us to shape the future of the sport and the lifestyle that means so much to all of us." Right? Okay. And like real talk, right? Honestly, it's like, I back that statement.
I back that.
Yeah. So, and then like Josh Reed, the co-founder of Rome, says since we launched in 2001, we've been pretty clear about what we believe in is important in snowboarding. One of those things is having snowboard companies owned and directed by snowboarders. Key point right there, right?
Like
the Nidecker brothers grew up around snowboarding. They're snowboarders. This is like snowboarding for snowboarding's sake. So yes, they get like a 10 out of 10 on this deal from me anyway.
So you give them a core,
Yeah, this is like these guys are real, keeping it real.
Yeah, because it seems like it would be something that Rome would really have to sell to a core brand to actually maintain their.
Yeah, they're not gonna like sell to like REI, something like that.
Right.
Yeah, maybe they'll sell in REI, but really like Rome is core. Anyhow, so that's like probably the biggest piece of news this week.
But no, like question though.
Okay.
Will Nidecker, where will they have Rome headquarters?
Okay, so it looks like probably the boards will probably be manufactured in the Nidecker factory. They have a great factory, by the way, in Switzerland. But it looks like the creative Rome SDS will stay in Waterbury, Vermont.
Oh, I was just maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I think those guys own homes there or something, but
Gotcha.
they're not. They don't get to move to Switzerland or to the mountains or something.
I was thinking maybe they actually got a snowboard.
No, no. I mean, I think they practice snowboarding.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Anyhow, let's move on. Let's move on from this.
Move on.
Okay.
What's up next here? What should we talk about?
Let's see here. Oh, check this out. This is pretty interesting. So it looks like Burton Snowboards has hired a new chief marketing officer, a new CMO.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, I mean, here's why it's interesting is because this is one of the most important jobs in the snowboard industry.
Right.
This is someone who is really tasked with steering the ship of snowboarding to a place that is the future, a greater future, a brighter future for the sport.
So snowboarding's current administration is kind of guided by like the big companies like Burton.
And maybe the Nideckers now too, actually. I hope so,
sure.
actually.
So tell me, being a marketing guy yourself, what kind of responsibilities do you think this
I mean,
this
the
person's
obvious
gonna have?
things, the forward-facing things are like the team, the advertising, that kind of stuff. But there's stuff like POP. There's all sorts of kind of behind-the-scenes type of things, and like supporting of shops and how you have relationships with shops. And there's a number of tasks really as a marketing person. I was a marketing director at kind of a company the size of Burton. Many years ago. But anyhow, there's a lot of different jobs involved, and really, you're steering the ship though for the brand, and so the what people perceive about the brand is directed by this person.
Sounds like a big job.
Who
is this? Who is this person that they?
Okay, so it looks like this girl's name. It's a girl, and that's cool.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and her name is Sarah Crockett. Tell me a little bit about Sarah Crockett.
Great grandniece of Davy Crockett.
Okay, Davy Crockett, and I should know that because he's a snowboarder.
False, Sullivan. He's a fake Disney character. We all know that. The real pioneers of the West were like Daniel Boone. Okay, that was a trick question.
Well, okay. So so I've heard this before. This is going to go on a sidetrack here.
Sure.
For just a second. I've heard, and I'm going to say bullshit right now.
No.
You're related to Daniel Boone.
Direct descendant.
Bullshit.
Nope. Direct descendant.
No, you're not.
My great grandfather was an Oliver who married Daniel Boone's daughter. So yeah.
Really, you are a direct
frontier pioneer right here in my blood.
You are?
Yeah.
From Kentucky
and
or something?
And Davy Crockett is that son of a bitch Disney character that everybody
Stealing
thinks
your
actually
thunder.
did that. Yeah. So anyways, she's related to this guy, and let's just
Daniel. Maybe she's related to Sonny Crockett from like Miami Vice. Who knows? I mean, there's all sorts of Crockett's out there.
Right.
So really, it's like one Crockett isn't necessarily like
another. Have you ever eaten at the Crockett Barrel? All right.
I haven't.
So if you were in her shoes and you were walking into Burton and being the new chief marketing officer, what are some of the things that you would do?
I know exactly what I would do.
I'm putting
actually,
you on the spot right now because I think there's.
Here's the thing. It's like I don't get paid by Burton. I'm not going to tell them my secrets, but I would know exactly what I would do. But here's the thing. This is Sarah Crockett's role. She doesn't need advice from a snowboarder like me. She has experience working at Vans and REI, and so those things will guide her towards. And look, here's a quote. I'll just read you a quote here. See, Sarah has extensive experience at both REI and Vans building marketing strategies that amplify these stories. Which stories? We've heard loud and clear that our customers want to learn more about our heritage, values, sustainability practices, and what we stand for, according to Donna Carpenter.
Wow.
Yeah, that's like Jake's wife.
Sounds like a lot of things.
I think she's the CEO right now. Yeah, she's the CEO of Burton. So that's a pretty big job.
Wow, that's like a big chunk. So if people like you and I want to see those things back, what would be the first thing that that you would do?
I would probably I'd just bring back some of the team riders that like represent like the Burton brand and like stand in your mind for like Burton boarding. Right. Let's say not beyond snowboarding, Burton boarding.
Okay. I'll put you on the spot again. What riders would you bring back?
If I could bring back any rider, it'd be Craig
Kelly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a moment of silence.
Okay. Who else would you bring back?
Okay, let's see here. Okay, so the first one that comes to mind would probably be Ross the Boss Powers. No one is more Burton than Ross the Boss, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's like he had that, just everything about Ross is like a good guy, great snowboard, gold medalist, bronze medalist. I'd bring back Ross. Right? I mean, he's like a brand ambassador. He should be a brand ambassador for life, in my opinion. And then I'd probably bring back Johan Olsen because of just like the Alaska, the backcountry connection, riding the gnarliest runs. He still rides, actually. He lives now. He's a real snowboarder. He lives in like interior British Columbia and still rides all the time, usually snowmobile access, has a house out there near Trout Lake and doing a lot of no boarding. But I mean, he is a wild Viking still.
Anybody else you'd bring back?
Let's see. That's 3. Maybe like Trevor Andrew,
the Gucci Ghost.
Yeah, Gucci Ghost, right? Because it's like he just had that attitude and that, like, what do they call that? Braggadocio or what? I don't know what that is. Machismo, right? And he had that attitude that was like, just. I don't know. I just always liked the Gucci Ghost as a person, as a rider, and he went on to like such cool things beyond snowboarding.
Like Trouble Andrew, like some of his music is so sick.
Yeah, I mean he's a musician.
Right.
He's a snowboarder.
Right.
I guess he's a graffiti artist, but that's arguable. But apparently Gucci thought so, right?
Right.
So anyhow, so the Gucci Ghost, I'd bring him back, Trevor Andrew.
You'd also be killing two birds with one stone because he could also play Coachella.
He could. So yeah, I mean,
as a
I would
sponsored athlete.
I mean, actually, that I never thought of it that way. Yeah.
Right.
So really, two birds, one stone. I mean, that may be the theme today.
Still sponsoring Coachella?
I don't know. I mean, my understanding is that they kind of went big into Coachella. I looked at their webpage, I'll admit it, and I didn't see them as a list of sponsors.
Okay.
But like sponsorship deals, it takes years to kind of get to the point. So I'm sure they sponsored it for years, and I'm sure it made a pretty big positive impact on their brand. Don't laugh.
Dude, sorry. I'm just going like...
That's not funny.
I'm just going like...
I'm not trying to be funny here.
Is Sarah Huckabee Crockett going to basically address... Excuse me. Is Sarah Crockett... Sorry. Sarah is usually followed by... in our talks.
Okay, just keep going.
Is Sarah Crockett going to like address these things and go, you know what? We need to bring it back to like Coachella or maybe what would be another festival?
Because it's like, look... from her time at Vans, Sarah gets what it means to work for a brand that represents its core audience.
Right.
And I would say Coachella is definitely not
the core audience.
No. So anyhow, then that's according to John Lacey, president of Burton.
Okay.
Right? So there you go.
So let's just hope and let's cross our fingers that she brings back some really awesome pro riders, right?
Yeah.
That we would like to see.
Yeah, I mean, just because it's like those guys have dedicated so much to that brand over the years, I would love to see, Ross Powell. I'd like to see Craig Kelly again, but I don't think that's happening.
Sure.
Anyhow, yeah. So.
Hey, what's up, guys? Beef here. If you're enjoying what you're listening to, please consider going and giving us a review. Find us on Apple iTunes. Find us somewhere on the internet, and let your friends know that hey, there's a subpar snowboard cast out there. And maybe it's a little better than subpar. I don't know, but let's be real about it. If you're enjoying,
that's real talk.
That's real talk. That's real talk.
Yeah.
So we'd appreciate it if you let us know what we're doing great. We are going to evolve as we go. This will be something that will grow and hopefully get better over time.
Or you can email us directly, mark@thesnowboardproject.com or beeve@thesnowboardproject. You got your own email address, Beeve.
Hold up. I got my own email address.
You do. It's set up.
My phone number is 626-484-38021. It's also the hostel phone number if you'd like to make a book.
Shut the fuck beef. There's no ads.
Always trying to interject.
I know,
a
you're always
sponsorship.
trying to just slip that in there.
Hey, if you want to be our real sponsor, if you want to help us keep doing this, go check out patreon.com/the Snowboard Project and help us keep doing this. Patreon.com/the Snowboard Project. Since we're kind of on the Burton track, I have to say I was scoping Jake Carpenter's his Instagram today, and just to see what's going on in Jake's life. Jake had a picture up, and it had a huge rainbow flag on it, with the words, "There's no place like home." Okay. And you look at it, and then you realize it looks like a scene out of Return to the Thunderdome. And then underneath it says, "Except the playa."
Is that what they call Coachella?
No, bro. Are you not that connected? It is what they call Burning Man.
Burning Man. Oh, that happened last week, huh?
Yep.
I've never been to Burning Man. I want to go.
So Jake Burton went to Burning Man.
Really?
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Jake Burton went to Burning Man, and it looked like he had a great time because...
Are we segueing into who's on drugs? No, I'm just kidding.
Who's on drugs?
Burning
Jake
Man.
Burton.
Oh.
Everyone at Burning Man.
Everyone at Burning Man, right? Yeah,
So,
that's what the reputation anyway.
I find this quite interesting because, he's saying that that his home is the playa.
Okay. He should go to Tailgate, Alaska then.
I have this...
Because it's like the playa of the north.
He should.
Right?
He should. I have this image of Jake Burton in a little blue dress with some red snowboard boots on, clicking his heel 3 times saying, "There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place." And then Jake Burton magically appears at Burning Man.
I'll call you back, Craig. I'm in the middle of recording something. Let me call you back, Craig. This is the guy who's working on my cabin right now in Alaska, so
okay.
I had to pick it up. I'll call you back, Craig. Bye. Sorry about that. I normally would not take a phone call.
Did you just totally break the stride right there in the middle? I'm explaining Jake Burton and his relation to the Wizard of Oz.
The most important thing to me in snowboarding is my cabin in Alaska.
Okay.
Pat Cray is there right now. Pat Cray is a G, by the way. Pat Cray, if you're listening, you're a G.
Okay.
And so he's working on my cabin, digging an outhouse. So you know what's more important to me than this podcast?
Being able to crap in a nice hole in the winter.
Yes.
Okay,
pretty much.
That.
Okay, so sorry about that. Let me apologize to everyone.
I'm imagining Jake Burton, in this little blue skirt with his red snowboard, Burton boots, 2019 edition, clicking him and going "There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like," and poof, he ends up on the playa.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so. Right. I have a question for you.
Has it really come to that?
No. I mean, okay. So this is kind of a weird segue, but it's I just talked to Pat Cray.
Okay.
He's building me a house. Where do you go to the bathroom on the playa? It's like a big flat sheet of desert. Where do people go to the bathroom out there?
My guess is that they have just rows and rows and rows upon rows of outhouses.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like Porta Johns,
the
blue rooms.
It's the biggest city in Nevada or the second largest city in Nevada.
Bigger than Reno?
It's bigger than Reno.
Whoa.
Smaller than Vegas. For
I
one week
go.
out of the year.
I want to see the artwork. I could care less about the drugs. I want to see the artwork.
Yeah. So anyways, Instagram kind of leads you down some funny roads because as I was looking at this, I'm scrolling down the comments and the first comment is Jake Burton's son.
Okay.
Jack Matrani.
Jack is Jake's son?
Yeah, dude. Everybody knows that.
Okay.
Seriously.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, no.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay, cool. So what did Jack say?
He didn't really say much, but it was a little ambiguous. He left a laugh cry emoji.
A laugh cry emoji.
Right, one that's like...
I think that would mean that basically he's happy for Jake, but also sad he's not there.
Right.
That's what I would read between the lines on that emoji.
Right.
So it's hard to translate emojis sometimes.
Yeah, totally. There's a lot of ambiguity in emojis, and their whole point was to add emotion to text, right?
Right. But if you don't add the text to the emotion, then all you're left with is
a laugh cry, and you're going well, what does this mean? So then I click on Jack Matroni's. I go, where's Jack Matrani? Jack Matrani must also be a Burning Man.
Yes.
And he's crying because they lost each other in the 50,000. They're not holding hands and looking at
how is Jack Matroni's Burning Man?
Well, Jack wasn't at Burning Man. Yeah.
What? Where?
So I looked at Jack's Insta story.
Where is he?
Where every snowboarder should be, Mark.
Okay, where is that? Harvesting their weed.
Close.
No, just kidding. That's
close.
a joke.
Nope. Jack Matrani is in Nampa and Sonoma touring wineries.
Did you say that with an English accent?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, Jack's
Okay.
Insta story is a hodgepodge of grapes being fed to people.
Okay.
Cute girls prancing down the rows of grapes.
Oh.
With wine glasses.
Okay.
Who I presume is his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Hannah, I'm so in love with you. A lot of these things would say.
Oh, it's a very emotional kind of type.
It
Okay.
is.
Okay.
And so, sorry, ladies. I know all of you love Jack Matrani for his.
Yeah. But Jake, your son as well, he is drinking good wine in Sonoma County.
Yep. He did do one backflip off a stone wall, too. I Believe I Can Fly,
Really?
which I thought was kind of interesting.
That's pretty cool.
What do you-
Jack's a pretty funny guy,
So
actually. I like Jack.
What do you do in the off season to train? Because he's clearly touring wineries with cute girls.
For training? Like training?
Maybe not training.
Okay,
What do you do?
okay.
But
So
let me ask you. How do you summer?
How do I summer?
Yeah, how do you summer?
Okay.
Do you go to Nantucket or Cape Cod, or do you end up in the beautiful rows of grapes out in Nampa and Sonoma?
No, normally I do some work, but I like to go to swimming holes. I like to go swimming in the summertime and when it's hot out. I'll do some hiking and stretching. Is like I try to stay a little bit limber during the off season.
All things I've never seen you do, Mark.
I
always
know
thought you
that's
were one of those
because
guys that didn't
you're not
swim.
doing those things,
Right. I love swimming holes. I love
you
swimming
really?
holes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I would imagine that you would say something like, I like to summer in Lovelock, Nevada.
Lovelock.
Yeah.
Why would I summer in Lovelock? Okay, tell me about what what is summering in Lovelock? What is the draw of summering in Lovelock?
There's a giant thermometer.
A giant thermometer. I think I've actually seen that thermometer.
Yeah, it's just,
what does it say? What's the temperature in Lovelock while you're summering there?
well, it's pretty much it says welcome to hell, 119 degrees always.
Always.
And you just come in and you just drive out.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I've been through there. I can't say I actually stopped. I may have stopped for gas at night once because it was like cool enough to get out of your car.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
Anyway, that concludes our Who's on Drugs segment. But wait, no. Who is on
Well,
drugs?
that wasn't even. Oh no, wait. Who's on drugs is actually not about who's actually on drugs.
Right.
Who's on drugs is who did like something really crazy.
Really crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
So one of my favorite Instagram. I'll just volunteer this right now.
Sure.
One of my favorite Instagram pages, I gotta say, is JP Walker's chin. It's true. There's JP Walker. Actually, there's a real JP Walker's page.
Right.
Right. But then there's also this one called like JP Walker's chin. And if you look at that, check that out right now. Can you bring it up? So check this out. So this is.
I'm bringing that up.
Yeah. Can you bring it up? JP Walker. You got to type it in. JP Walker's chin. And so check out this clip of Dylan Alito. This is like some kind of gravity bending kind of trick. It's like he does like a half backflip shifty. Half backflip. I don't even know. Well, you tell me. You name this trick. Name this trick. Okay.
Defies gravity.
Okay. So here's one of our trivia questions. Maybe for this today is like, what do you call this trick? Because I want to know actually what this trick is called. I don't know what to call it. I've never seen this trick before, and so I want to know what to call Dylan Alito's trick. Check this out.
I can't even figure this out. It's like
It's like he does a half a backflip shifty and then comes back to forward.
wait. Does Bill Nye the Science Guy try and break this down?
No, he doesn't. He's like, I don't get it.
That just makes no fucking sense.
Right there's Bill Nye the Science Guy.
He's looking at it like from a science perspective.
Yeah, it
and
makes
it's
no
so true.
sense.
He does like almost like half like a rodeo flip, and then he like just stops in midair and then does like reverts a 180
Right.
back.
So
it's kind of ridiculous.
yeah. So anyhow, that'll be our first trivia question. Should we come up with a couple more trivia questions? Let's do three this week.
Let's just say this though. To this day, science has yet to understand Dylan Alito's ender in ammo. Even Jill Nye.
Okay, so this was Last Trick in Ammo the movie.
Yeah, so it's actually not.
It's not current,
recent.
but honestly, it's like it's still something that's like relevant.
Right.
Let's say
Absolutely.
it's relevant. You know,
because you very rarely see tricks like that kind of defy how it goes. You can always kind of go like, well, they added a 180, added a 180, added a 180.
Sure,
but he
sure.
took away a 180 somewhere in there.
yeah, I know. It's like he
Right?
doesn't actually flip. He goes
Right.
half flip and then
Half
back to
flip
forward.
and then like reverts.
It's like a zero. It's like I think they have a trick like that in skiing called the zero.
Yeah, right. That's the zero spin. They go backwards and they don't actually spin.
You actually know more about that than I do.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to call me out on that.
I've announced skiing, Sullivan.
Anyhow, let's move on. Let's move on.
So is Sullivan. Just so you know.
Okay. What else do we have here today? Should we? We can do our giveaway.
Yeah, let's go ahead and go into our giveaway.
Okay, you can announce. I'm going to pull up this page here. I have a
Okay, so-
spreadsheet built out.
Yeah.
Everyone gets a little row on the spreadsheet. All of our supporters. Maybe go a little Patreon pitch right now.
Yeah, so if you go to our Patreon, patreon.com/the Snowboard Project.
What is Patreon?
Patreon is a site where you can donate to help us keep doing the doing this podcast and perpetuating, I guess, our art and our ability to bring you advertising-free media, which means media where we don't have any rules. We don't have to say anything about anybody, or we don't
I think
have to hold
clearly
back.
we've demonstrated today
Yes.
that there are no rules.
There are no rules.
There are
in
no
this.
rules. We're not
So
trying to please anyone except ourselves. High five,
Exactly.
Beef.
High five.
There we go. I'm
That's
happy.
the sound of a high five.
That's a sound.
But if you want to support us, you can go to patreon.com/the Snowboard Project. And Sullivan has made these levels so that if you want to win something, you can donate at a certain level and be entered in the weekly giveaway. And this week we have basically a trophy that's like, it is a trophy that was the best trick what year? Best trick
2000.
in what event?
I thought it was 2001,
Uh-huh.
but Jason Borgstead, who got second at that contest,
Right.
was like, no, that was 2000.
And Borgstead went home with one of these as well.
No, he didn't actually get one of these trophies. He was like kind of pissed because he was like, I want that trophy.
So did Borgstead donate to
No,
this?
he didn't. Borgstead, if you're listening, you could have donated,
Yeah.
you know, or you could have bribed me maybe. I don't know.
But maybe someone will win this and then be like, you know what? I should just send that to Borgstead.
Well, this is going to be really expensive to ship. This thing weighs like 30 pounds. Like, seriously, I don't know. I'm going to send... In fact, so my son, he's like 10 going on 11, but he's going to be our mail boy. Except that, like, literally, this trophy is so heavy, he can't even carry it to the post office. Like, that's how
heavy it is.
it is.
It's the old it's a
Mold.
form. It's a mold from a Sobe bottle that they put on a piece of wood, and it says, winner of best trick. And this was meant for Daniel Frank.
Yeah.
And Jason Borgstead really wants this because he knows that he should have won it, right?
Yeah, he does. And I do have our winner here.
Okay. Who's the winner?
The winner is, without further ado, from one of our supporters on Patreon, Michael Brown.
Michael Brown.
Michael Brown just won the trophy.
Mike
yeah.
Brown, winner. I was really hoping that my girlfriend, who
I know.
just joined the Patreon,
Yeah.
I was hoping that she'd win it. And
Yeah,
put it
well,
on the wall.
she
She wouldn't
didn't.
even have to ship it.
That would have been actually, and Michael, I mean, hit me up. I'll go down to the post office and find out what the shipping will be on this. I know it is not going to be cheap to ship, right? So don't be a cheap shit. I don't know. No, but anyhow, I'll find out what the shipping will cost and we'll figure out the details. Michael Brown, though, you are the winner of the 2000 U.S. Open of Snowboarding Trick of the Day Big Air Trophy. That was Daniel Frank's trophy that he should have claimed back in the day. So
Daniel Frank was my Man Crush Monday last week. I figured.
yeah. So who's
this
your
was
Man
mine.
Crush Monday this week? Do we have to do that every week, or do we just kind of mix it up?
I mean,
Who's your Man Crush this week? Well, it's too late. We already started.
my Man Crush this week,
Yeah.
Pedro Barros.
I don't even know who that is.
He's a skateboarder.
But this is not okay. Snowboarder. Who's your Man Crush snowboarder?
No, look. Well, I was just saying Pedro Barros because
Why?
he won first in Marseille.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hey,
and
wasn't
it's
Shaun
only-
White there?
Yeah, Shaun White was there.
Oh, okay. Well, that's just pretty curious. So maybe we should actually go to This Week in Shaun White.
Yeah, we should.
Okay, This Week in Shaun White instead of Man Crush Monday. We'll do both. Two birds, one
Sure.
stone. That's kind of the theme today.
Right. Two
Okay.
birds, one stone. So Pedro Barros won the Marseille.
What was his run like? What kind of stuff do you do in like a winning
Dude,
pool
have you
run?
ever seen Pedro Barros skate? The dude's he's like a snowboarder on a skateboard.
Yeah.
And it's really getting to that at that level. And maybe that's why Sean's like, hey, I'm going to go compete in the
Right.
Olympics. However, what was the result on, and this is nothing against Sean. It's just that what has everybody been doing the last 3 years while Sean's been training for the Olympics?
Skateboarding pools, basically.
Skateboarding pools every day.
Yeah.
So, this might be an indicator, or maybe this is like where Sean's going to draw his energy for what he's going to look like in the next
Right.
3 years, because he got what place?
31st.
31st place in his
Yeah.
in his qualifier. Didn't even make the semifinals or the finals in Marseille.
Ooh, that's a tough break right
Yeah,
there.
and
especially when you've announced to the world you're going for gold.
Right. So he has a lot of ground to make up clearly in that direction.
So do you think that's going to feed him underdog status? He'll be like, I'm going to... But the thing is, I think he's like older than the rest of the field, isn't he? I mean, it's going to be hard for him to make up that ground.
You know what's crazy? Rune Glifberg was in there, and Glifberg has to be like in his late 30s,
right?
Yeah, or like even maybe early 40s. So like you can't count someone like Sean out in skateboarding by just going like, well, it's past his prime. It might just be something like we know, and I'm just going to say this: Sean, when he gets motivated, there's like
no one with that much focus,
right?
Right, totally. I have a lot of respect for Sean actually as an athlete, as a competitor.
Right.
You know, I think that very few people, if any, have as much focus as him in like a snowboarding competition. Right. And so if he can translate that to skateboarding, but you're absolutely right. I mean, these guys have been skating this whole time while Sean was snowboarding, getting ready for the Olympics. Sure. They were skating every day. But
I will say he then was supposed to go to Malmo, Sweden, and I didn't even see his name on any of those numbers or results. So, if you want to look at some of the like the level at which Sean's going to have to compete in skateboarding, I mean, it is pretty up there, and it is a whole new game in skateboarding. It's like snowboarding in a, we're not just going back and forth on a half pipe here doing, kickflip indies and McTwists here. They're skating.
So what kind of stuff is Sean going to have to do if he's going to like win a gold medal?
Sean's going to have to do massive airs. He's going to have to do.
I think he could do that, can he?
Absolutely, yeah, he totally can. He's going to have to do really technical tricks. He's going to have to, kick flip some big things. He's going to have to go up and like nose blunt and off like huge walls. I mean, I don't know what the format is in is it Tokyo
2020?
2020. I don't know what the format is. If it's going to be pool skating, if it's going to be
pool,
a combination.
I think park pool.
Is it park pool?
I think it's like a pool though.
That's
pool
so exciting because normally it would be like the Olympics would dip their toes in and say like we're just going to have like a half pipe competition, Right. And I think that's rad because the culture of skateboarding is changing now to the point where they're building like concretes, massive parks that are like on the level of snowboard parks at some point. They're doing tricks that are comparable that 10 years we didn't see. Or 10 years ago we haven't seen. Anyway, we can move on from that. This week in Shaun White.
Okay, I mean that's maybe that happened last week, but either way, it's like at least there's some news to report in the world of Shaun White, and I know you guys have been on the edge of your seats waiting for us to get to that segment. So.
He really has nothing going on his Instagram except some like turtle thing.
Right. Okay.
He has a caption this contest with some guy with almost face tattoos. Sullivan.
Oh, face tattoos.
Yep.
Let's talk about face tattoos for a minute.
Yeah.
So you know what? I mean, I think that how many pro riders in snowboarding have face tattoos? I know it's a requirement to be a mumble rapper is to have a face tattoo.
Right.
How many pro snowboarders right now have face tattoos?
Last I counted?
Yeah.
14.
14. Which one is your favorite?
Bozung.
He's my favorite face tattoo artist too. I mean, he's like the OG of face tattoos.
Right.
Like nothing says bad decisions or opiates.
Right.
I mean, I'm not sure actually about that part.
Right.
But it seems like all those like mumble type dudes are like opiate type dudes.
Or nothing says a future rap career.
Right. So I think Bozung may be getting into
rapping.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay, so what else do we have in the news, or what segment do you want to cover?
Okay, so let's just go into expensive items like ski passes.
Ooh, well, actually, you know what? Here's the thing with the ski pass, though.
Sure.
The idea is that you actually save money. You buy a pass that lasts you all year. And now they have these like they have the Epic Pass, the Icon Pass, and then the Mountain Collective Pass. And these are like, this is kind of a newer thing anyway, and lasts, 5 years or something like that. And it's like you get one pass, and it's good at actually multiple resorts.
Okay.
So which one would you buy? I mean, first of all, go ahead.
First off, I want to ask you, do you think that these passes are good for the ski and snowboard industry?
I think they do. Yeah, of course, I think they're good because it's like, number one, you're committed to going riding and you spend like $1,000 on a pass. Right. And so I think the maybe the Icon's $1,000, the Mountain or the Epic is $929. Is that right?
I don't know what the Epic is. The Icon is $999. Yeah. There is a base pass which has like blackout days, which is like $700, and then you have the Mountain Collective, which is like $449.
That's cheaper.
Yeah, cheaper for sure.
Yeah, but anyhow, that gives you like lift access to like what resorts? Like, let's say I have like an Icon pass. Where can I go riding, and what's the deal with that?
Let me just pull that up really quick. The Icon Pass has a number, and actually there's some overlap. There are some double dippers that actually have Mountain Collective and Icon, which is kind of sick. Like I think Mammoth is on both of them.
Yeah, but then you buy 2 passes. Would you buy one or the other?
So anyways, Icon has like 36 destinations. It looks like Squaw, Mammoth, June, Big Bear, Crystal, the Summit at Snoqualmie, which is pretty rad. In the Rockies, they have like Aspen, Steamboat, Winter Park, Copper, Eldora, Jackson Hole, Big Sky, Taos, Deer Valley.
Yep. I think that's actually really cool. Well, not Deer Valley. That's
Solitude,
not cool at all.
Brighton, Alta, Snowbird.
But I think it's cool because you get to go on vacation. You could be like, hey, I'm going to go for Thanksgiving. I'm going to go check out the Northwest. I'm going to go to Japan in January. I think you get some like you get a Japanese Hokkaido
let's
or
see,
something.
It says
or
Asia.
Niseko? Which one do you get?
It says Niseko and Hokkaido, or maybe Niseko is Hokkaido. So the same thing. And then you get Australia. You get Threadbow. Right.
So it allows you to kind of, and actually that's something that's like part of the snowboard project is promoting kind of this idea of the journey.
Right. I think like get in the van with your friends and figure out where you're going to go and chase the snow across all those places. I think that's I think it's a pretty sweet idea. I will say that owning, excuse me, that was a cough.
That's okay.
I will say that that owning a hostel and a cheaper
so which one of these passes is Sun Valley a part of?
They are part of the Mountain Collective Pass. And I've seen a number of people come through, and it's like it's helpful because you get these people that would be like, yo, I got 2 days here, and they're constantly calling me to figure out the correct time to come. Right. And then when they do, they can come and nail it. And if they want to stay like a third day, if the conditions are really going off, then it's like half price on tickets. Whereas like Sun Valley is like it's $120, $130 a day.
Yeah.
To come and ski here. So it's like you get pretty much like out of that, you get half of your, if you make it to Sun Valley for 2 days, you've paid off half your pass. If you make to Jackson for 2 days, you've paid off the rest of it. And then the rest of the time is like where you can, make it to make it really feel good, and that price kind of comes down per day.
Yeah. So that's a pretty good, that's pretty neat. So you got 3 different passes. Yep. You got the Epic, the Mountain Collective. What would make you kind of make a decision from one to the other? Just which resort is closest to your house, or which resorts you want to visit maybe during the season? How do you make that decision?
I think you look at the ones where you're like, yo, what makes the most sense as far as like a route goes, so that I can get the most bang for my buck as quick as possible. Because I think the coolest thing that I see people coming through, they're like, I'm heading over to Jackson next, and then we're heading up to wherever, and then we're going across to this, and they have like a week and a half or 2 weeks planned out. Some people they're going all winter, and trying to hit every single one and doing as cheap as possible. So it's kind of rad. You see these guys run in. They were like, last night we camped in the van in Twin Falls, Idaho, and then
Sprinter van.
Hell no. They're rolling like what I got, like a like 96 E350.
Oh, because nothing says like I get it quite like a Sprinter van.
Right. Nothing says I have a trust fund quite like a Sprinter van.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially if it's jacked up like on 31s or something.
I mean, because you'll never pay that like $50,000 to my like $400 E350.
Right, but you get 10 miles a gallon. They get 20 miles a gallon.
Yeah, but how many gallons of gas do you have to go through before that pays it off? How many years?
I don't know, like probably like 50 years.
50 years.
Yeah, 50 years. Just as long as you own your Sprinter van for 50 years, it'll pay off.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Did you factor in the build out, the $10,000 build out?
I did not. Damn it.
Did you factor in the solar? Did you factor in the underseat heaters?
Whoa.
You didn't.
I did not. I did not at all. I was just thinking
there's
like
a lot of things.
bone.
We're looking at like $75,000.
Okay. Yeah, $75,000 for a cool Sprinter van.
You could have 150.
You know what's funny?
F350s with 189,000 miles on them. Just saying.
Okay.
I just did the math.
Okay, fair enough. Anyway. Fair enough. Okay.
Anyway.
So, and also, like, it's funny because, like, okay, so there's 2 different kinds of passes. There's like the group pass, like the Mountain Collective, Epic and Icon, and then there's like the individual resort pass, like Mount Baker has an individual resort pass.
Sure.
Right. And so, which one would you go with? Would you go with the individual resort, or would you go with the group resort? And what does that say? What's the difference?
I think
because like Mammoth sells an individual pass, but they're also part of one of these like kind of collectives. What I don't even now that's part of the name. I have to think of a better way to describe it.
It's kind of hard weighing that because I think that if you are living and working at a resort, sometimes it's hard to take a couple weeks off to go on all these road trips. Most certainly, I think I would just say let's just take the whole winter off and hit 35 resorts. 70 days, call it a season.
And that's why you're driving a Sprinter van.
Yeah,
that's
why.
You have a trust fund.
Because I have a trust fund like that.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to a couple more pieces of news and get to our thing.
Sure.
How far are we into this show here?
Let's see here. We're about 40 minutes in.
Okay, so we don't need to make this too long.
No.
We don't need to kill people, but I got a couple more pieces of news here.
Okay.
So, Matt Coughlin, the Turd Lord, Nightmare Rider, you know, but he was biking home from work when a driver hit him, and I don't think he had insurance. So he fractured part of his neck, tore connective tissue, broke his nose and face, and he'll be in a neck brace for 2 months. So he has got a GoFundMe page to help him with his medical bills, right? Someone literally, like, he was riding his bike, bam, nails him. He gets hurt, and so he's in the hospital right now. So check out that GoFundMe page it says GoFundMe/help-Matt-Coughlin aka-Turdlord. So it's a little bit long of a URL, but you can find this. I think if you just look up Turdlord or @Nightmare1413, you can help Matt Coughlin. So anyhow, that's kind of rough though.
How does someone get a name like Turdlord? Because that sounds pretty rough.
We're gonna have to look into that for next week. Maybe that's what trivia question number 2.
Oh.
How do you get the name Turd? We're just going
Let's not make that.
Okay, we got one more thing to cover here.
Sure.
So Snowboarder Magazine, I used to be the editor-in-chief of Snowboarder, and they just launched a subscription program. And so, so
it's kind of rad.
The magazine, like they kind of announced, they're not on newsstands anymore.
Okay.
I think you can get them. You can pick up copies of Snowboarder in shops. Okay. Snowboard shops, like core retailers, though, not like your REIs, let's say. You got to go to an actual snowboard shop. I don't even think Zoomies has them. So you go to like any kind of like real core Eastern Border or Island Water Sports or something like that anyway. That's like core snowboard, Salty Peaks or Milo Sport. They're going to carry Snowboarder Magazine. I think they're doing 3 issues this year. So anyhow, but they have this new kind of subscription program. And so how that works is you pay, I think it's about $99.
Okay.
You get 3 copies of the mag. And then you get some swag, some unique swag you can only get by being a subscriber. So you get like a T-shirt. Actually, the T-shirt design is really cool. It's like keeping it sketchy or something. I don't know. Let me look this up here. Like what you get. You get a pair of Stance socks, custom co-branded Stance socks that are unique to this thing.
It's pretty sick. So they're taking it back to a subscription base that basically like allows you to purchase the magazine since they're not on newsstands, which is kind of like an older model. Are we kind of coming back to that in the way that people are watching? Looking at magazines. You think they'll do anything else different? You think paper quality will get better?
I think it might already be getting better. So here's the thing. Here's the deal right here. I'm looking at the thing now. You get the mags, you get a T-shirt, you get socks, you get a DVD copy of their movie, and then you get a special bonus. And so, but here's the deal. You have to sign up by October 31st. And so that's the catch right there. So sign up by October 31st. But I think it's actually pretty cool and honestly, it's like snowboarding magazines in general have kind of taken a fall. And so if you really love snowboarding, first of all, sponsor the Snowboard Project at Patreon, but also support Snowboarder Magazine.
Okay.
Yeah.
A few things. I just want to ask you some quick questions. Okay. Let's real talk here.
Real talk.
Okay, we're just gonna go back to what we talked about.
Okay.
First off, I just want to know your opinion. Who leaked, Hannah Teeter or Jay Bananas?
I'm going with Jay Bananas.
I'm going with Johnny Bananas.
Yeah,
too.
Johnny Bananas. Yeah, that to me, that guy just seems like a douchebag.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
How long you give Sarah Crockett in her job?
Sarah, who?
The new, not Sarah Huckabee Crockett.
Right.
Sarah Crockett.
Okay. So I'll be generous.
Okay.
I'll give her 2 years.
Okay. Cool.
What do you give her?
I'm gonna have to go with 1 day.
I think she's already been there one day.
But we're going Price is Right's rule. Yeah, you didn't see that coming. So basically, I have like somewhere like 782 days or something.
Okay. Well, I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. I'm saying 2 years. I'll give her 2 years.
Okay.
She'll learn the corporate culture. She'll learn about snowboarding between now and then.
I got 732 days on this.
Yep, okay.
Where I will beat you.
Yeah.
Because I am Price is Right.
Yeah. Just keep in mind authenticity matters.
Yep. Authenticity matters.
Okay. Keep going. What's the next question?
Next question is: will Jake's next sponsorship be Burning Man?
That's a really good question, but you know what? See, here's the thing. Burning Man is a lot like the snowboard project. No sponsors.
No sponsors.
That's right.
Right.
So they have to just rely on Coachella.
Okay.
And
Jesus. Oh, wow.
Anyhow, but I do want to go to Burning Man, real talk.
Real talk.
That is real talk.
Real
and
talk.
then, the only reason I didn't go this year is because I was launching the snowboard project like the day after it ended or something like that. I mean, I think it was like right in that period, right as we were getting ready to launch this thing. So didn't get the opportunity this year.
Okay, and what is the pass that you'd go with?
I'm gonna go Icon Pass. I'm gonna go Sun Valley Pass actually, because I live here.
That's the Mountain Collective Pass.
That's Mountain Collective.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know what? I want all three.
Okay.
I want all three because honestly, I would love to go to all these different resorts. I love traveling for snowboarding, doing these road trips, meeting and visiting different places, and that's part of snowboarding to me. Is just like the exploration of the world and having these experiences that don't have predetermined outcomes. Sure.
Okay. Will Shaun White make the Olympics 2020 for skateboarding?
Okay, so, I have the utmost respect for Shaun White as an athlete, but I'm going to say no. I'm going to go with no on this one, only because he's 31. He didn't qualify in that event. He doesn't have a lot of time, actually. He's got, a year to qualify. I mean, really, the qualifiers are coming right up, so it's like he's got a lot of ground to make up in the next year. How about you? What do you think?
I'm going to go with no, too.
Yeah.
I'd
like to see him do it.
I'd like, as much as Shaun is kind of this controversial talk in snowboarding, I still would like to see him make it. I think that would be.
I would too. Actually, it's fun to make. It's fun to poke or whatever you said last week.
We can poke fun at Shaun all day, but I mean, he is a talented skateboarder. We've known this for a while, and he's an extremely talented snowboarder. If not,
I would say like one of the best competitor of all time as far as that mental focus and all that. So there's we'll knock him down, we'll build him back up.
Well, let's just hope that this moment where he proves us wrong. Let's just say
prove us wrong, Shaun.
Maybe he's listening right now.
Prove us wrong.
And Shaun's going like, these sons of bitches are betting against me, and it's like that's going to be the drive that Shaun then uses to make
but we can't bet against each other because we both lose or we both win. Right. So there's no one really for the payout. Anyhow.
Yeah, totally. And lastly, what resort do you think will open first?
Ooh, that's a good question. I'm going to go with, so I'd say there's basically three that are in contention, or maybe even two, like Killington, Vermont, Loveland, Colorado, and maybe Mammoth.
I think you're totally overlooking the one that always opens first.
Timberline at Mount Hood.
No. That one's already open. That doesn't count.
Okay.
Is Timberline still open?
I think they take a hiatus during September. I think they take like a little break. But is there like a dry slope somewhere?
No. There's
what?
Arapahoe Basin. A Basin is
no, it's not A Basin. It's Loveland Ski Area that opens before A Basin.
No way.
Yeah. You want to bet?
Let's just pull this up.
Yeah, pull this up right now.
On the snow.com,
take a look at this.
Projected openings.
Okay, let's see what they are. What are the projected opening dates for the season for like the major resorts? Just go through the list. Loveland before A Basin. Let's make a too late to bet.
No. Hey, really quickly.
Okay.
Loveland and A Basin are both projected to open on the exact same day.
Ooh, tie.
Yeah, who are you going to take?
I'm going to go Loveland because I already said it.
I'll go Arapahoe.
Okay, so what's the day though? What's the day they're projected to open?
They are projected to open October 20th.
Okay, that's pretty early in the season. How about like Killington, Vermont, or like Mammoth? When's Mammoth's opening day?
Dude, they are so far down the line here.
Really? Okay, let's just go through the list. Give me the top first 10 to open.
Okay, Loveland, Arapahoe on the 20th. Wolf Creek Ski Area in Colorado.
Cool. I've been there.
You know what? I'm looking at the Colorado one, not the actual.
Oh, see? Blew it, Beef. Blowing it live though.
Oh, just
at the Hot Water Inn. You want to come to the Hot Water Inn? Watch Beef blow it.
Place where Beef blows it live.
Yeah, blowing
Whoa,
it.
that sounds.
That's what she said.
Terrible.
I know.
That was the worst thing I've said all day. No, 10:20. Loveland, Arapahoe on the 20th. Mount Rose in Ski Tahoe, Nevada, on the 26th.
So that's the first California one.
Yeah,
cool.
Wolf Creek back in Colorado on the 2nd. Lookout Pass ski area in Idaho. Idaho one on the 3rd of November.
Nice.
Killington.
Maybe we should make a road trip
of November. Maybe we should
to Killington.
Yeah, to Killington. I don't think I could be in a van that long with you unless it's my Sprinter.
We were.
I don't know.
We did drive to Alaska and back once.
Oh, that was the worst. Those were some of the greatest and worst days of my life.
Yeah, me too. The ride back in particular was the worst.
Oh, it's pretty bad.
Anyhow, let's keep moving.
Yeah, let's keep moving. Anyways, should we just tackle really quick what our last week's trivia was? Just really quick.
Let's go over last week's questions so everyone can know the answers because. These trivia questions actually may have been a little bit too difficult because no one actually got them right. And honestly, Tony and Kyle both been around snowboarding for 25 years plus 30 years plus, right?
There was some good stuff in there. So anyways, number 1 was name 2 of the 5 riders whose part was to Foo Fighters' Everlong.
Okay, so who are the 5 riders?
We got Gabe Crane, Joey McGuire, Dave Lee, Mikey LeBlanc, and John Summers.
Right. So those are the 5 riders.
Simple Pleasures, 1997 Mac Dog film, Simple Pleasures.
All right. Number 2.
What pro snowboarder dated Dave Grohl?
And that was actually Mike Bassich's older sister, Tina Bassich. So great woman. She dated Dave Grohl for a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool lady though. Woman, chick. I don't know. What do you call Tina?
Legend.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, she is a legend for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, real talk.
Okay. Trivia question number 3. Who invented the 450 to board slide?
Okay. J.P. Walker.
The real J.P. Walker? Or J.P. Walker's chin?
Son. J.P. Walker, yeah.
Of course, yeah, J.P. Walker. Of course he invented that.
Yep.
Question number 4. Rob Kingwell had a segment on RSN. What was it called?
Well, what's it called?
Well, I have to say that I actually kind of second-guessed myself on this because...
no one got it right.
No, Kyle Phillips said King's Court. And I went like...
Wait, that makes sense.
Did they actually have another segment? So I called Kinger, and he said...
Right.
He said this thing got him so much notoriety that like people in Colorado were making it a drinking game.
Okay.
So every time that it came on and it was just shown across so many markets, he'd be like in Sweden,
Breckenridge,
do
Vail.
I know you? And he had a segment called Quick Hits. Mm-hmm. And Quick Hits was he would break down a half pipe trick.
Okay, but how does the drinking game work? I'm more curious about that.
I think every time that it came on RSN, basically they'd have to drink. So, but it was cool.
So people would get drunk or they wouldn't get drunk based on this being on RSN?
I think it was on RSN every 15 minutes. He'd have a different quick hit, and someone
you'd be
would be
pretty
like,
hammered though.
Time to take a shot.
Okay.
So, but Kinger was sitting at.
How was Kinger anyway?
Yeah, Kinger was he was sitting and editing his. He's doing something that is a lot like TED Talks called Shred Talks, and it's basically talking about the results and reviews of their POW Shapers Summit testing for snowboards. So if you're interested, and I'm just going to throw this out there. I am interested,
actually.
Go to shapersummit.com and you can see these videos that he's working on.
Shaper Summit, is it live right now?
It is. He has a lot of them up, he said. I don't think he said he had all of them up, but Shapers Summit, shapersummit.com. So there's no ShaperSummit.com.
Oh, there's only one S in the middle.
Only one S, yeah.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. And so that's basically they filmed that at the powwow, but now there's it's not called the powwow anymore. We get into that. I actually interviewed Kinger. That'll be coming up. We talk about kind of the evolution of the powwow and just he changed the name based on like not wanting to co-opt like Indian culture or whatever. How it might be. I think there's a word for that.
Right. Cultural appropriation.
That is the word. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. I know we were both looking at each other like, what is that word? Cultural appropriation. So anyhow, there's a new name for the powwow.
Yep.
Which is an amazing event, by the way.
Yeah.
But anyhow, we'll get into that in the Kinger interview. So, okay, next question.
We're deep into the questions here, into the trivia questions. What was the brand that Don Szabo's first pro model was on?
Okay, the answer to that is Nidecker snowboards, and like his first pro model was like a flat laminated, like the old Sims boards, like built like a skateboard.
Yep.
And so it had like a spider web with Zabo's face on the spider was the graphic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know that board well, actually. Well, I don't know it well, but I saw it, and that was like it was like a freestyle board back in the day.
And Kyle Phillips got that right?
He did get that right, yeah.
Nice. And then there was a follow-up question about the
oh yeah, what were the movies and what was the film company?
Right.
And so the film and Kyle got 50% of it right.
Got 50% of it right.
Right. And so we're giving him 100% because actually I don't even remember the name of the film company, but the name of the film series was Creatures of Habit.
It was Creatures of Habit.
Creatures of Habit. So we're going to go with that.
Right. Well, he was the only one that entered, so of course he's going to... Well, no, the other guy didn't tag it. So.
Yeah, he didn't tag it, so he only half entered.
Okay. And number 6, who was Todd Richards' first board sponsor?
I know. And so Kyle said Burton. Good guess.
Good guess.
A lot of people have ridden for Burton over the years. But actually the answer is Funky Snowboards. Funky. It was an Italian brand. They featured arrows for graphics, different arrows pointed in different directions. And so he may have only rode for Funky for like 2 months.
Gotcha.
And then he got picked up by Sims and the rest is history.
Right.
So anyhow, that wraps up our first trivia contest. But
so Kyle Phillips wins a Tailgate Alaska shirt.
That's right, Tailgate Alaska.
And 2 nights, if he makes it to Ketchum this year, 2 nights in the hostel.
And 2 Rainiers.
And 2 Rainiers.
Yeah.
2 nights,
pretty good.
2 Rainiers.
Okay, so let's do our new trivia contest. So anyhow, we want to make it a little easier.
You just stomped on my hot water in.
I know we're going to get to it again though, because honestly,
are we doing this every week?
I think why not? I'm going to make you because you'd say the hot water in so many times
that I have to give.
That you have to now give away a bed in the hostel every week for trivia. What do you say to that?
I'm okay with that. As long as a snowboarder comes to Sun Valley for the sake of checking it out and rides with us.
We'll even go riding with you, right? If we're here in town. I mean, I travel quite a bit, but if we're here in town, we'll go riding. We'll shred. Right. Anyhow, so let's do a new trivia contest.
Okay.
Second, Real Talk, September 17th, 2018, Real Talk trivia. Let's do this.
Find a photo, tag us in it and then put all your answers in.
Okay. And we're going to try to make this a little easier to make more people enter.
Okay. Number 1, if you go back to, if you go and scope JP Walker's chin on Instagram, what does Dylan Alito call the trick that he does at the end of Ammo?
What's the name of that trick?
Right.
Basically. I mean, that just struck me as like, wow, that's a crazy trick. It's got to have a unique name because I've never seen anything like it.
It does. And so there are no rules to this. You could call Dylan Alito.
You could call Dylan Alito. Yeah. You could, you can. Honestly, I don't even know the answer to this question. We're going to have to find out for ourselves, too.
We're going to have to call Dylan Alito.
Yeah, we'll figure this out. Yeah. Okay, what's the second question?
What was Mac Dog's first movie?
Mac Dog's first movie. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. Okay.
And question number 3, who was the first to switch backflip a road gap?
What? Switch backflip a road gap. Okay.
Yeah.
We're just going to, switch backflip a road gap. Okay, cool.
There's someone that has claimed that this is a trick that they've done.
Maybe half of the answer is in the word claim.
Stop. Okay, and number 4, who was Kevin Pierce's first paying sponsor?
Ooh, so who made him pro?
Yeah, what sponsor made Kevin Pierce pro first?
I know the answer to that question.
You do.
I do. Okay, so that's our trivia questions for this week. You get a free...
Are you giving anything away?
No, not this week.
Not this week, so it's all on me?
It's all on you, Beef.
2 nights in the hostel at the Hot
2
Water
or 1? 1 night at the hostel.
No, we'll do 2. We'll do
2.
That's
and
like
a
weekend and a Rainier.
Wow, this is like pretty awesome.
Dude, I'm just saying.
Cool. Well, I'll try not to make fun of the hot water in to the best of my ability, although that's not easy.
Seriously, if you say bed bugs one more time, I'm going to slap you.
Really?
Yeah, no, seriously.
You say the hot water in too many times, and I'll say bed bugs. Anyhow, folks,
bed bugs is the cleanest hostel you'll ever see.
So I think that wraps up Real Talk number 2, September 18th, 2018, and next week we'll be back again. Also, folks,
September 17th, Sullivan.
It's September 17th. Oh, by the way, coming up next weekend, we have the hot dogs and handrails, so we'll have our coverage of the hot dogs and handrails contest next Monday. So check that out. Yeah, tune in.
And if you feel like supporting us, always go to patreon.com/The Snowboard Project.
Yeah, we got to give a good plug to basically how that works, because we are advertising free snowboarding media, and that allows us to kind of poke fun at things, have a good time, and laugh at it because, hey, we don't want your sponsorship dollars. We're doing this for the listeners.
All right, that is it for your second Real Talk here on September 17th. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you next week, same time, same place. I guess that's it. Signing off. Peace.
On behalf of Mark Sullivan and the Beeve, thanks for listening to the Snowboard Project. Remember, ride fast, take chances, dream big, and take action. And for God's sake, don't be a pussy. Don't forget to support advertising-free snowboarding media at patreon.com. The Snowboard Project. The Snowboard Project. The Snowboard Project.